Well, for more on this story, we cross live to our reporter, Griselda Lewis, who's standing by for us in Harare. Griselda, can you give us more detail about these arrests that have taken place?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Nompu. Just a few moments ago, as police here in Zimbabwe continue their investigations into yesterday's violence here in the city of Harare, they can only say that a few or several arrests have been made, but are not willing to divulge the number just yet. They say that this afternoon they will be speaking to the media to give them a full briefing of further developments in terms of the investigation. Thus far, we still do have police that are circulating or driving around the city at this stage, trying to ensure that calm does continue. When we woke up this morning, we certainly did monitor the streets, and we do know now that they will continue to do so. Police will continue to monitor this area until they believe that the situation is calm enough to remove police from the streets. And as you did point out as well there, Nompu, that in just under an hour, the MDC Alliance's Tendai BT will be handing himself over to police here. This, of course, follows that call yesterday by authorities asking him to come and give details about, for example, the meeting that he had, or the address that he had with the party faithfuls just a few days ago, where basically he had declared this election being won by the MDC Alliance. And also, you'd recall, in the violence yesterday, members and supporters of the Movement for Democratic Change Alliance had protested just outside the gates of the hotel that houses the Results Center, and that subsequently turned violent, leading to the deaths of 3 people. We do understand that number still remains at 3 at this stage. In terms of how many people remain in hospital, how many are injured, we'll get all of those details. I understand at about quarter past 2 this afternoon.
So, Griselda, you say that there's still a heavy police presence, but we're also getting information on the likes of Twitter that indeed the army is still on the ground as well. Is that the case?
Well, that's right. From very early this morning, shortly after 6 o'clock, when we tried to monitor the situation, we did see the army still in the streets. Some of them were being picked up by their regular transport. But we do understand now as well that not too far from where we are, there is the army that is making their rounds inside the city centre. And there are also allegations at this point, which I cannot confirm, that they're telling everybody to go home. I think essentially with the results that are going to be announced, the presidential results that are going to be announced from about 5 o'clock this afternoon, what they would certainly want to do is to get the city centre cleared in case there is any violence, because you must recall one of those that's been very critical of the Zimbabwean authorities as well is the Commonwealth. You'd recall at a press conference just more than 2 hours ago, they did say that they believe that the army should have been the last-minute resort. They do not, at this stage, they're condoning the violence that they saw, as well as the excessive use of force. That's exactly what they said. So in order for them to ensure that enough preparation is made in the event that anything does happen, once those results are announced, they'll have to be much more prepared than they were yesterday. The Commonwealth has also gone to say that they believe that the authorities themselves were ill-prepared because they should have envisaged that with the results taking so long to be announced, that there would have been some kind of dissent within the city.
All right, Griselda, thank you very much. We'll keep abreast of that story with you as the day progresses. That was Griselda Lewis reporting from Harare.